I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Right now. Get up, stand up, stand out right now.
สวัสดีครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมจะมาสอนนะครับก็เลือกที่ YouTube นะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมจะเลือกเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ก่อนสตรีมผ่าน YouTube นะครับก็เลือกที่ YouTube นะครับพอเราเข้ามาใน Streamlabs นะครับก็จะมีวิดเจ็ตให้เราเลือกเยอะแยะเลยก็ลองมาดูที่วิดเจ็ตตรงนี้ก็ได้นะครับอันที่เราจะใช้ในวันนี้เนี่ยก็จะเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์นะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมจะเลือกเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ก่อนครับพอเราเข้ามาในแชทบ็อกซ์แล้วนะครับก็จะมี URL ให้เรา Copy นะครับตรงนี้ก็จะเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ที่มันจะขึ้นมาบ็อกซ์แชทบ็อกซ์นะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมจะเลือกเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ก่อนอันที่เราจะใช้ในวันนี้วิดเจ็ตให้เราเลือกเยอะแยะเลยก็ลองมาดูที่วิดเจ็ตตรงนี้ก็ได้นะครับอันที่เราจะใช้ในวันนี้เนี่ยก็จะเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์นะครับเดี๋ยววันนี้ผมจะเลือกเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ก่อนครับพอเราเข้ามาในแชทบ็อกซ์แล้วนะครับก็จะมี URL ให้เรา Copy นะครับตรงนี้ก็จะเป็นแชทบ็อกซ์ที่มันจะขึ้นมาเวลาที่เราสร้างแชทบ็อกซ์ตรงสตรีมเรานะครับก็สามารถปรับทีขึ้นมาเวลาที่เราสร้างแชทบ็อกซ์ตรงสตรีมเรานะครับก็สามารถปรับทีมได้นะครับก็จะมีหลายแบบเลยนะครับอันนี้ก็ผมจะตั้งเป็นแบบแรกนะครับเป็นแบบ default ที่มันให้มาก็อันนี้เราสามารถตั้งได้นะครับว่า background color ให้เป็นสีอะไร text เป็นสีอะไร font size ขนาดเท่าไหร่นะครับก็ถ้าใครไม่อยากปรับอะไรมากก็ตั้งค่าแบบเดิมไว้นะครับส่วน chat delay เนี่ยก็คือเวลาที่คนพิมพ์มาแล้วเนี่ยมันจะใช้เวลานานเท่าไหร่ในการ delay กว่าจะขึ้นมาบนแชทของเรานะครับเบื้องต้นถ้าเกิดเริ่มต้นใช้นะครับผมอยากจะให้ทุกคนไม่ต้องไปเปลี่ยนค่าอะไรมาเลยนะครับกด save setting นะครับ พอเราตั้งค่าเสร็จเรียบร้อยแล้วนะครับ ให้มาที่ widget URL นะครับกด copy นะครับแล้วก็copy URL นี้นะครับ URL นี้เนี่ยก็พยายามอย่าให้คนอื่นเห็นนะครับหลังจากนั้นมาที่โปรแกรม OBS นะครับก็อันนี้ผมได้ตั้งไว้แล้วนะครับไอตัวนี้ก็จะเป็นตัวอัดเกมของผมนะครับแล้วก็ Video Capture Device ก็จะเป็นกล้องของผมนะครับถ้าใครยังใช้ OBS ไม่เป็นเนี่ยเดี๋ยวผมจะแนะนำให้ไปดูอีกคลิปหนึ่งก่อนนะครับผมจะทิ้งลิงก์ให้ทางขวาบนนะครับให้เราทำการเพิ่มซอสนะครับกดบวกแล้วก็มากดเพิ่มเป็นเบราว์เซอร์นะครับหลังจากนั้นเนี่ยผมจะตั้งอันนี้ว่า Chatbox นะครับกดโอเคแล้วตรง URL เนี่ยผมจะใส่เป็นลิงก์ที่ผมก๊อปมาไว้เมื่อกี้นะครับหลังจากนั้นก็กดโอเคตัวนี้เนี่ยก็จะเป็นเปรียบเสมือนกับ Chatbox ของเรานะครับเวลาที่เราไลฟ์สตรีมเนี่ยมันก็จะขึ้นมาตรงนี้นะครับChatbox ก็จะขึ้นมาตรงนี้อีกอันนึงที่ผมอยากจะให้ลองก็คือ Viewer Count นะครับตรง widget URL เนี่ยมันจะทำการลิงก์กับ YouTube ของผมเองเลยคือ Viewer Count นะครับตรง widget URL เนี่ยมันจะทำการลิงก์กับ YouTube ของผมเองเลย
เสียงมันจะเข้าปะเสียงมันจะเข้าปะวะเสียงมันจะเข้าปะเข้าอ่ะ เสียงมันจะเข้าปะวะเสียงมันจะเข้าปะเข้าอ่ะเสียงมันจะเข้าปะวะ
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking, Mr. Linney.
Linny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to... I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only... Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own. And 6,
Wait,
2, time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave.
Yeah, listen to the—
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my— but that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. I'll ask you 3 questions. Question 1.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour. The Fonta promoter has been we often see Miss Sijuin observing the Fonta's internal reports the research notes said that the Melazine. According to Collins, we often see Miss. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin. According to Collins, the research notes said that the Melazine. Fonta's internal reports said the Fonta promoter has been. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin. The Fonta promoter has been we often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work. Fonta's internal according to Collins, I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed. The research notes said that the. I've been told that the infirmary.
So that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to— At first we thought this strange meat must have something to— She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin has only the best intent. Unfortunately, Melazines are the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meal. Are we on the right—
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even get— Alright, now for my neck, there are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring.
I've been told that the infirmary is all. Fonta's internal report. We often see Miss Sijuin the Fonta promoter has been The research notes said that the Melazine. According to Collins, the research notes said that. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpacked. We often see Miss Siege. The Fonta promoter has been struggling.
Paimon gets this— That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is that people get scared when they see it because they've but really, it's just a bottle of a blood-red drink. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, they came to the Fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress. knew that and so only those who proved their stupidity by being
I acknowledge the effort you've put in, although based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my... All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of you'll Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewinne? Though this gun may look...
Sigewinne.
Not at all. I am merely a resident when Monsieur Nervulet asked me to come here. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lenny someone you should be looking... But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulet told me to do. Everything His Grace knows it too.
My dear Sigewinne.
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you... What are you talking...
Take me if you want.
How touching.
Don't be like...
All right, everyone, calm. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave.
You.
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clorinde. My door.
Fremine. Fremine.
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Lenny.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerate... Please, make some space.
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of course. Sorry.
Why would he ingest a large amount of...
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might...
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lenny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose.
Lenny, are you okay?
be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Freminet?
He'll be fine. But for now...
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take it.
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. So this is a day in the life of the Traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces... wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. So this is a day in the life of the Traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
is getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. Wherever the tide takes me, so long as the light of the hearth still shines, I'll always have a home to return to. I want to spend some time at the bottom of the sea, in peace and total silence. It's easy to fix a machine when you know how it's built and how it works. But people, they're much more difficult. This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished.
That's right.
Miss Clarande brought you back.
Miss Clorand,
You're still too weak.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
thank you.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
I want to go on a vacation with Papa.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Excuse me.
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegewien?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? But where should I begin?
Then Paimon...
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
You managed to monitor and stay...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that... Initially, I thought their goal was just to invest... Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave... I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates, that's all.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremonet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with.
You make a compelling case,
Yeah.
even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Stand on the center.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or. Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
There are three. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your...
Well,
Well...
huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meropide. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past, normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, later on a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as over the past few days the needle has moved again. With that and the symptom,
The concentration.
and that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded. Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the indicators are now. If this continues. Yeah, you know what the legend.
But that's just too weird.
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meropide in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this.
But now you know every part of that
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this, to be frank, not really. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you—
The results speak for themselves, don't they?
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Font. Good. So Edwin's main areas of research were Archeum and Gravim.
You...
Ah, what a lovely idea.
Gotta admit.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be mad.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen.
How much do you know about Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessant.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that
Do you believe that too?
to a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.